Hello there. Thank you for listening to the NeverFap Deluxe Daily with me, Julius Reed. Oh, yeah. Here's the theme tune. Hiya! Oh! That was my attempted crazy samurai killer. Of course, I got my trusty sword next to me, which actually it doubles as a dildo. Nothing quite like shoving a knife inside a fleshy hull. That's please don't do that. But you know what you should do though? Give me 5 stars on iTunes. Give me the stars, mate. Oh, mate. That was my larrikin Australian. Of course, having a mental breakdown because Centrelink could not deliver on the goods. Today's topic is, have you ever paid for porn? Of course, a favourite topic of the read, even though it's the first time we've done it. But before we get to the topic, we get to the checkup. The checkup. The checkup! Thank you, checkup. Keeping it checking, keeping it up. Kind of like my dick. That was supposed to be funny, but like creepy, but like bad creepy, like not even funny creepy, but like bad creepy. But it's funny because it's bad. Of course, if you understood any of that. Today's checkup, how are you doing? Are you doing okay? Do you need me to ruffle some people up? Of course, maybe need some sexual favors. I do sexual healing on top of, get you addicted to the read. That's how I like to do it. But on to more serious matters. Really it's about following your mental health routine. So, for example, are you meditating daily? If you read the NeverFap Deluxe website, neverfapdeluxe.com, it very much is about 10 minutes of meditation each day. We'll bring you through your life. We'll bring you to heaven. Of course, I can't guarantee that. But, I saw a priest once and he was like, oh, go crazy. Go to the NeverFap Deluxe website. I was like, oh, well, the word of God believes in read. So that never happened. Meditation is important. Will help you develop calmness, awareness over your behaviors so that you can change those behaviors. And so you can be like, you know what, am I going to touch it? And you're going to be like, nah, because, I want to stay safe, stay clean, stay read. So exercise is also important as well. Exercise is what keeps your bones nice and healthy and your muscles nice and sexy. Obviously get those hot girls or guys, whatever preference you're into. Obviously helping you with your mental health. It's a healthy coping mechanism. Of course, there's other healthy coping mechanisms as well. Reading is a healthy coping mechanism. Certainly isn't a replacement for developing awareness, but, it's healthy. It's something to do that doesn't involve smoking or, getting addicted, basically. Of course, you can get addicted to reading, but it's kind of different, I guess. I guess it's not different. It's just, it's not the same as, getting addicted to heroin, where it's like it's inherently addictive. Reading is just enjoyable. Again, it depends, but for like 90 million% of people, you're going to be fine. What are you going to do differently as well? Identifying where you need to change is a great way. Well, in fact, it is the process itself. It's constant iteration. It's you analyzing yourself. Analyzing, I don't like that word because it implies overthinking. It implies judgment. Really, it's just about identifying briefly and then making a twitch decision. Am I going to do something different? If yes, if no, then that's cool. Keep on your way. Which brings us to... that was the end of the checkup. I hope you enjoyed that. Which brings us to the topic. The topic! That was, I was a fan of how I did introduce the topic. I think you were a fan too. So the topic, today's topic is, have you ever paid for porn? But, this is kind of like one of those casual discussion topics that the read likes to throw in every once in a while. It's like, it's not really a meaningful, well, I guess all topics are meaningful, but, it's just, mix it up. Apparently people pay for porn. Otherwise, porn wouldn't exist. There'd be no incentive to create it. And I'll say, even though I've been heavily addicted to porn, for the past, 15 years, I've never paid for porn. It's just never crossed my mind. I guess because I'll be honest, it's because I'm a cheap Asian. I don't pay for anything. I still don't pay for many things. I kind of struggle with the whole idea of paying for porn. Especially, it's just there's so much porn and there's just so much of it's free. But it is estimated that in the US alone, more than $16.9 billion is spent on porn every year. And that's just the US. And I'm not sure if that includes, webcam webcamming and, like prostitutes and stuff like that. But that's a huge figure just for the US. Of course, the US is like, the biggest consumer of everything. So, but yeah, that's a lot of money that's spent on porn. And, I think it's easy to judge and say, well, that's not a rational thing to do. But, in the context of addiction, it is, well, addiction itself is irrational, but, in the context of addiction, it is so-called irrational. Because when you're addicted, you don't care about the cost. Whether that's the financial impact that it has on your life, whether that's the impact that it has on the people around you, the impact that it has on your career or your ambitions. You just don't care. And, that's kind of the one thing that addicts struggle with is how do I care? And I don't think that's my answer to that question is I don't think it's about caring. I don't think it's about motivation. I don't think it's about what you want. It's about understanding how to get there. An important point I made on the subreddit quite a while ago was that, recovery isn't about how much you want it. It's not about, how badly you need to stop doing it. If you know how to do something, you will do it. And that's what it comes down to. It comes down to understanding how to recover. Because when you understand how to recover, of course, inherently, you're going to want to recover. Like, it's just a no-brainer. It's like if you know how to speak, let's say you're in a foreign country and you know how to speak the language of that country, of course you're going to use it. You're not going to be like, oh, well, I mean, should I use it? It's just like when you know how to do something, you do it. So that's why it's important that you understand the fundamentals of recovery. The website covers the fundamentals very, very much in detail, NeverFapDeluxe.com. The homepage is excellent. It explains all the basics. It explains why you've been failing through unhealthy coping mechanisms. It explains healthy coping mechanisms. It explains the 3 tenets of NeverFap Deluxe. You've got calmness, awareness, and ambition. And when you understand the fundamentals, you then have a mental model to be able to go, okay, so this is how I can move forward in these exact steps. And then that confidence is crucial to giving you the understanding of that you can recover. Because when you have that confidence, and not confidence in the sense of like, oh, I feel great, I'm motivated, but confidence in the sense of truly understanding what it is that you need to do, then you will do it. That's why, it's really important that you understand the fundamentals. What does it even mean to care? Well, it just doesn't mean anything. It doesn't matter how motivated you are. It doesn't matter how much you want to stop. If you don't know how to stop, you won't stop. So, point is, learn the fundamentals. And if you are confused, if you don't quite understand what you need to do to recover, you don't understand the fundamentals. And it's not a case of that, like, this is normal. It's a case of you just not knowing. It is not normal not to have 100% confidence in your recovery. Obviously, beginning out, you're learning and you don't know. But yeah, if you have doubts, if you are confused, it means that you basically just need to go back to the drawing board, iterate. Maybe there was a misconception you had about your recovery that, you thought was true, but then later you go, oh, okay, so it wasn't quite that. Failure to meditate, or rather not knowing exactly how to meditate, is a huge one for most people. It's like they think they're meditating correctly, but they're not. And they're like, well, why am I not getting anything out of this? Well, it's like, well, it's because you're not doing it right. So hopefully that spiel helped you. Again, go to the website. It has heaps of information, explains all these fundamentals juicy, deliciously. But that's okay, because it's the end of the topic, which brings us to the beginning of the viewer mail.
The viewer mail.
The viewer mail. Spoiler, reveal. Of course, I took my pants off when I said reveal. Keeping the illusion, the surprise that, I've got this massive penis. And then you look at it, you're like, why is there a worm in your pants? And you realize, well, the penis is the worm. So this brings us to the viewer mail. Today's viewer mail comes from Mustafa Safari from India. Of course, pronounced that completely incorrectly, but, whatever. Mustafa Safari says, I'm on your Discord server as the guy called Must2133. You have a cool mother effing... You are a cool mother effing guy. Thank you, Mustafa. Have a fantastic day, is what he says. I don't know if this will be in the podcast, but hey, I wanted to give some appreciation. Smiley face. Regards! Of course, there was actually only one regards in there, but, I like to mix things up. Hello, Mustafa. Thank you very much for your viewer mail. The appreciation is felt in places that I legally cannot describe, but I'm eternally grateful for your words. Yeah, thank you for the words. In fact, I even wrote a song for you, and it goes a little something like this. Mustafa, you're a great guy, and a bad man. It's actually this other song, but I'm saying Mustafa, so it's like technically a new song. Thank you for sending in a viewer mail, Mustafa. So that was my song. I hope that captures the heart and soul of who you are, Mustafa. I'm gonna figure out what that song is. It's like a bad man. You know the song if you're like my age, which most of you probably aren't, but that's okay. That's okay. I've got friends and stuff. I've got friends. I don't have friends. My life's pretty much like that tune. Of course. I was touching myself while I sung that tune. Which is how I managed to develop that beautiful vibrato when I was like, Mustafa, 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 Mustafa. Because I was doing was that a Beethoven thing? I don't know. Like classical tune. Everyone knows like classical music, but no one knows what it's called. It's like it's sonata in Mustafa. It's like, I don't know. Which is an ancient Chinese technique. Masturbating while singing from the late 90s. Of course, very recently developed by, some guy. He had free time. He was like, oh, let's jerk and sing. Bam, internet sensation. What was the point of that? The point is to show appreciation to my viewer mail listeners. Of course, that brings us to the end of the show. Thank you for listening. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Discord, Reddit. Leave a nice review on our Castbox channel. Of course, you can send a comment there. If you'd like to send in a viewer mail, NeverFapDeluxe@gmail.com. Check out the website. I do the Writers Daily as well, another podcast, and stay safe.